Hello, welcome to another tonalist landscape oil painting demonstration. This is your painter in residence, M. Francis McCarthy. And the painting I'm bringing you today is called Riffing on Corot number 2. I think I did this last week or the week before. Pretty hectic time. Today was hectic. We're having this cyclone out here. Yeah, the Earth is moving around. It's wonderful. Anyway, so what are we working on? Well, it looks a little different, you say. It is like kind of the same color as hardboard, but certainly not the same textural appearance. What it is a little bit of MDF. Now the MDF was primed with 2 coats of transparent gesso. And then on top of that, when that was dry, I sanded it down and I went over it with a little bit of acrylic paint that was tinted to a nice brown color. And I had these boards prepped and ready to go. This was a case like I was saying, this week was pretty hectic. I didn't have a lot of time to paint. You can see the original video, the one that's not sped up, in the members area, and I think it's all of about an hour and 20 minutes long. That's one of the really nice things about the little paintings, is you can, and always been to me a huge part of the appeal, is you can get them done really quick, and they're neat little paintings. I sell a fair amount of them, so especially, used to sell quite a few to tourists. There you have an attraction, of course, because they're, you know, they can pop them in a suitcase or what have you. So what do I mean when I say riffing on Corot? I don't know the title of the Corot piece, but it was done in typical Corot silver and green, and I'm like, yeah, I like this composition. I think I'd like to do a painting with it, but I really don't want to do the silver green. I changed quite a few other things too, but I kept his basic compositional motif, which is one of the strongest things about most Corot paintings, is where he places those trees, and especially in relation to the background elements and foreground elements. Absolute master, really, in so many ways the progenitor of modern landscape painting. He doesn't get enough credit for that. So, but, you know, I have done a lot of straight up Corot studies. These days I thought, nah, I don't really want to do that. I want to do something different. So I made it like all burny orange, and I had a lot of fun. Now the color mixing session, of course, will be in the video in the members area as well too. Gotta let you know it's happening. In fact, the last video on this channel is kind of one of those full-length videos, maybe a little more teachy. I don't always get, it's not like every painting I do I'm sitting there turning it into a lesson, but I will say every video in the members area has some sort of tip, trick, or technique. And what a lot of people, you might look at it and go, wow, a lot of those are kind of long. Well, what a lot of people do is just kind of keep me on in the background as they're doing their own work, and I think that's an excellent approach. Yeah, and it's not too expensive. If you want to try it out, it costs you about, I don't know what things cost in the US anymore, but $6, okay? There you go. I was going to say a latte, but a latte is probably still $5. Maybe, don't know. Anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about, before I got into talking about the Corot bit, and I got you, oh, so what are we doing right now? Well, we got some burnt umber. We're doing our drawing stage. A little burnt umber, a little bit of black mixed in too, because I knew I was just going to be jumping right into it. Now, black and burnt umber are great mates, and one of the wonderful things about, say, a drawing stage like this, underpainting stage, you can mix burnt umber in with your black, and it really brings the black along. It dries pretty quick. There's an element in the umbers that is very quick drying chemically, and a lot of painters in the past would add some of this to their mixtures to speed up drying. Now, somewhere I think 20th century they invented the alkoid oils, like liquid, I believe was the first. It's still really good. I use that for certain jobs. I coat my paintings and stuff. Anyway, what was great about this background color was like so much of it looked pretty much done the second I started putting in the sky. It really had a nice quality to it, a beautiful feeling. And that's really what I'm into. I want to create beautiful little paintings. Like, I get comments on the little ones that they look like gems, you know. I think that's cool. Um, and this was, you know, the other thing I wanted to point out, we're going to get the ad coming up pretty quick here, and please just be patient with it. A lot of people still don't know the book's happening. It's a small painting. It didn't take long. I got a painting done, so I have a good feeling about my day. You know, maybe I would have liked to do something more ambitious, but every painting you do adds up to some great work in the future too. People forget about that. I was talking with a student last week, and just pointing out to her my theory, not just a theory, but you know, pretty much the facts of the matter is that you have to get the bad paintings out. You have to do them. Oh, hey, it's my book. Worked really hard on this for 2 years. Everything I know about painting in a tonalist way is in there, and it's all condensed. It's $60 US. I would love to make it a bit cheaper than that. I know that's not cheap, but I live in New Zealand, Northland, New Zealand, and the shipping out of here is it's crazy expensive, but it's absorbed by me, and it'll come to you if you order one. Anyway, moving on. So a couple challenges in this scene was these little hills in the back. You know, I think that's mostly invented. I don't remember exactly what he did, but I was riffing off of it. And like one thing, I don't think he actually had a bit of river poking out through those two trees, which yeah, I could see why he didn't do that. He was a very wise guy, and you know, he lived to be in his 80s, like 84 or something like that. And you know, when you live to be that old, people are always saying when you die, oh, I thought he was dead. So that's pretty old. That's okay. Not that far away from me, really. I'll be 84 if I live that long in 20 something years. I don't know. 25 years. Who knows? Because I'm old, you know. Although still, yeah, quite young at heart, quite young in spirit, and it's painting that keeps me that way. Working on a project today where, you know, I'll try and keep it on the painting mostly, but I'll share this with you as my student Ash, who some of you may know from the channel. We're going to do like an interview video, so that'll be on the channel. That'll be really cool, and I was looking for questions. I got some great questions to ask her, and that, you know, will be asked myself. But you know, what's your favorite color? No, that's like something you might ask somebody. Oop. That's Jerry inviting himself into the office there. What's my favorite color? Gosh, I don't really know. It would have to be in context, right? Like you could almost say it's that brown I'm painting on, really, since I'm so consistent with it, and I think it's so beautiful. But yeah, probably not a good question to say what your favorite color is. Like, what are some of your favorite color ways to work? Like, I like working just straight up monochromatic too. The challenge in this scene, first of all, it's 4x6. That ain't big. The challenge was where the foliage comes over into the sky. And this is one of the things that Corot was a master of, but it's not like I could borrow Corot's technique, which was use these little very, almost like rice grains, his strokes, and maybe a little fatter. And he would just overlap tree color with sky color. Oh, very beautiful. Yeah. I can't do that. I'm not working big enough to do that, and I've never been a fan of that technique. I get my own approximation of it, but the innovation of Corot was getting the air into the trees. To me, that's what, when you look at a Corot, that's the first thing you see. Like, Constable was around, you know, and Corot was familiar with Constable, and definitely admired him and was inspired by his work. But in Constable's trees are really awesome. I recommend sometime you just type in, Constable sketch, tree sketch. You'll see how incredible his drawings and paintings of trees were. But, where he's not one of my absolute all-time favorites is where his work takes on a very edgy kind of quality. Not edgy as in modern, edgy as in there's not he doesn't have the innovation that Corot brought to things, where he's bringing the air into the trees. Now I do that too, and I do it in a more abstracted way. And that's one of the reasons why I'm really big on the tonalists, is that there's a certain amount of abstraction that's just built into tonalism. Simplification, abstraction, a real, like, if you like a color, like I wanted to do this orange, you do it orange. You do everything in orange tones. There's a tonal unity running through this, and that in itself is intrinsically beautiful. This would be an awesome one to see in a really nice wood frame, or a gold leaf frame, something like that. I'd love to put it in a big fat gold leaf frame. We'll have to see. Yeah, those frames cost money. Yeah. Hey, support the channel. That's a good segue. If you got some extra dosh, go and buy a painting, and then I will go and buy a big gold leaf frame for this painting, and we'll go from there. Another thing I want to talk a bit more about painting small. So yeah, it's tiny, right? 4x6, but I was really busy this week, so I didn't have time. I wanted to maybe do an 8x12 or something larger, but I knew I wouldn't be able to get much done on it. So I had little boards prepared. I had a folder on one of my hard drives there called Corot. I just popped into my head, why don't I just do a little riff on Corot? Found this image, toned it in Photoshop there at the studio. Got my board and was up and painting within about 15 minutes, I'd say. And then the total painting itself took an hour and a half or so. And I'm selling this in the store for like 125 US. Most of that, not most of it, but a good chunk of that will be going for the shipping, believe it or not. But it's pretty reasonable. It could be, you could go, well, geez, I only took it, yeah, but I can't do. I used to be a wage guy. Probably, maybe some of you are wage people. They give you X amount per an hour, but it doesn't work like that when you're a fine artist. Even when you're a hardworking fine artist like I am, you can't sit there and cram out 8 little mini paintings in a day. Not really, and have a fresh artistic statement. And it's not like I'm making excuses for I mean, some artists probably could do that, but it just doesn't work out like that, really. You build up almost like an athlete, like a person at bat. You've got you're on the home plate, the ball's being thrown at you, you swing the bat, you do a good job, everyone gets to run and score. That's kind of like that when you're a painter too. I have the boards ready, I have the reference ready, I made the time, and that's the thing I want to impart to you. Like, after this video, just go ahead, turn off the video, and go over to where your paints are and make a little painting. Or if you don't have any little boards ready, then go ahead, prep some little boards. So tomorrow night or tomorrow day, whenever you have some time, you can just jump in and do a little painting. Maybe watch a video first to get some inspiration, but then just do the painting. And then you'll say it doesn't take you that long, do one a day. I guarantee you this will be the way that you can improve massively, 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 massively. You don't even have to come up with something of your own. You can do what I did and just riff off of Corot. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you so much. I know you have a lot of options to watch here, and leave me a comment if you like, or if you can support the channel financially, you can join as a member, buy my book, buy a painting, or send me a donation. Many wonderful people have done that. I use that to buy paint and brushes and keep my whole thing going. So until I come back with another video for your edification and enjoyment, do me a favor, do me a solid. Take good care of yourself, your family, all your loved ones. Stay out of trouble, and God bless you and your family.